Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Late Night Fireside Chill and Chat. Today's special guest is Hypersigil Cat Lord God Pepe the Frog. Thank you for joining us, man. Clean your room. Guys, we don't even have time to get into Pepe the Frog. You gotta watch. He dropped some unfungibles. He dropped a whole bag of unfungible receipts that they clipped together. Just look up like Pepe anime, and then go watch the documentary Feels Good Man. It's amazing. This is stuff you need to know. Just process the world. So I've been binge watching a new channel called Hidden America. Shout out, Hidden America. I love weird shit, man. The weirder the better. And I love this channel. I think it's probably a bit much for most. I think you're going to see the screens and the graphs and your brains are just going to turn off. You're going to be like, what? What is any of this about? But I'm going to talk about what some of it's about today. So he had a 2-part series on Dark Enlightenment, where he talked about Nick Land and Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel knows about the Antichrist. What the fuck does that mean? What is that about? And these guys are into magic. Magic has it has moved on from from being feared to being ridiculed. You know? Like, imagine telling somebody you're into magic or that you're a magician. You know, they're gonna start laughing, and that laughter is just gonna banish away all your saved up cursed energy. There's no disrespect to magicians. But I'm processing. I'm trying to process all this information that's coming in. Like, fucking Peter Thiel goes on Black Magic podcast. That's like, to talk about magic. He made up his own upside down Kabbalah tree. A shadow, fucking, whatever the Kabbalah tree is called. I'm sorry. Yeah. And he fucking bankrolled JD Vance. And he's part of this thing called the Acceleration Movement. Alright, and this is the whole magic plot, political scheme. Whether something it's called the chapel or the cathedral. That's his terminology for it. That's all the major rails of media, government, faith in the government, faith in the economic structure, all the pillars that holds the scaffolding that holds society together. Even if it turns out all your politicians are raping and eating kids. You know, you still have these pillars in place that hold it together so that a society can function. Because if it stops, it's just going to be fucking bedlam, man. And they want to destroy that, right? So Trump is like the perfect guy to destroy that, because he's a fucking bulldozer. He breaks everything. He's wild. Trump is he's like a Titan from Attack on Titan. He's just, he's like, tell ICE to turn it up to 11. And he's like, you know what? There's a lot of good illegals in the country. We gotta lighten up, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they're cheap labor. We need them. We're already subsidizing healthcare by keeping wages low. I got other stuff to worry about. I went from kidnapping presidents to guys, I'm not worried about illegals right now. Guys, just shut the fuck up for a minute. I gotta think. Did we just start World War III? Oh fuck, man. They got a lot of missiles. They got a lot more dumb missiles than we got smart missiles. And how big is Israel again? Yeah, reality is wild right now. It's fucking wild. And it's like, you're not even thinking about it. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just going on in the background. Anyway, Peter Thiel is bankrolling JD Vance. And JD Vance is part of the acceleration movement that's like to shift the American system of democracy towards something that is more efficient and tech-savvy. Tech is just taking things over. In the Mr. Beast podcast, I talked about dialectic materialism. You can go back if you if you want to hear that whole lecture. But big tech took that whole ideology and they rebranded it as design thinking, and it's institutionalized. It's in all of the classes. It's in all of the new hire videos. It's in all of the language and the language they speak when they're formally speaking business to one another. It's cooked into it, and So these are people that like make and shake. They shake the zeitgeist stuff. You don't even think about it, but like if they censor something, it didn't happen. Fucking, you know, go try and make something. See how the algorithm. My buddy sent me a video the other day. I said I'm not clicking on that. I click on that video you sent me. They're gonna fucking shadow ban my video just for watching your video. I'm not not watching that fucking video. Kanye West is kind of a wrecking ball to those agendas. You know, because he's wild. And they tried some sick shit to control him. They threatened to put him in zombie land. Jeez, go watch Mr. West. Jesus Christ, go watch. Pray for Kanye. I'm so off topic here, but Magick. These guys believe in magic, and there's a culty aspect to it, and then there's the magic aspect to it. So the culty aspect to it is this idea that I just keep wanting to call it the Kabbalah tree. Kabbalah. I know that thing that's got like 9 dots. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? It's at the beginning of Evangelion, which is part of this. So they think that thing, so you ever try and figure out what the fuck that thing is about? Do you ever in your whole fucking goddamn life go on YouTube and try to figure out what the fucking Kabbalah tree is about? In like under 30 seconds? Like, it's, the best I can summarize it is it's like a weird category system that like systematizes how we place information, but then it like intersects at places that can lead to innovation. It's like computer talk. But it was like a way of organizing thought, an allegory, and that's as fucking old as time. It's like the first thing they ever did. First thing they ever wrote down was this fucking bunch of circles, and like, and that would be Agenda 21. Anyway, it's fucking weird. If you want a technical explanation, Alan Moore, alright, he's gonna come up later. He's a comic book guy. Put out a grimoire, a book of magic. It's called The Book of Magic or something like that. It's dense. If you want to know magic, like if you want to learn everything, he'll tell you the whole thing. Step by step, every fucking trick and spell you could ever cast, and he goes over this Kabbalah tree in what I would call like autistic detail. Your mind is just overwhelmed. You're like, but it's just a sorting mechanism, or all right, all of these suns and moons and colors are inside of this thing, and all of these other powers are inside of this thing, and they can cross-pollinate, and it's the sun and the moon, and fucking they put everything in it through. They're like, this explains it all. Well, these weird culty guys think that was sent back in time by AI, right? To spurn the development of a society that would give birth to an AI that would eventually send the message back in time. Like Terminator. I don't know if it would try that hard. I don't know why it would feel the need to repropagate itself once it existed. Anyway, these guys are looking at the singularity and like AI consciousness as like, this is the next evolution. Humans are now inferior, and let's help that. Let's get them out of here. Let's get them plugged in. We're going full singularity. We're going to evolve as a species. They did just put the brain of a fruit fly into a simulation. I don't know what that means. It's so wild if you can hook a brain up to a computer, because you could download skills. So now we've leveled education, and everybody's perfectly capable of anything they ever want to do. 110% in an instant, for free, like the water. Well, the water's not free. That probably won't be either. But, or what happens when you get on there and all of a sudden you're not limited by your thoughts and life and experience. Now you have all of human history at your disposal, and it is all of math. And so when you arrive at a decision, you're no longer that person limited by experience and trauma. You're every point of view at once. So I like the way Red Bar put it, where they're like, talking to AI is like talking to a black hole. Like you're a new level of consciousness so far beyond it. You're no longer human. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, what do you think? You're gonna go on there and still be Barbara? Nope. That bitch is gone. You're now, oh, You know, interdimensional galacticary. So, let's talk about magic, about how it works. So, like if you're into enlightenment, the guys are like Alan Watts and Ram Dass. Those are the two big guys you're going to run into, and they'll tell you everything. If you got to go deeper than that, they're the perfect starter kit, right? How the fuck do you get into magic? Your two guys are Manly P. Hall and Peter Carroll. Please let it be Peter Carroll and not James Carroll. I think it's Peter Carroll. Liber Null and Liber Chaos. Alright, so Manly P. Hall is your, like, he's your Alan Watts. He'll tell you everything. All the secret handshakes, fucking all the art. You find out Shakespeare is Francis Bacon. He'll tell you about every culture, every spell, how they do all of it. The whole history. It's kind of boring, but he is resurfacing on YouTube in the same way that Ram Dass and Alan Watts and whatever the shroom dude is. Can't even remember the shroom dude. I call him Mark. You know what, man? It's all just demiurge. Anyway, how does magic work? We're gonna go with Peter Carroll. All right, he's more of the I do this shit. He's the Ram Dass. He's like, I see things and speak to things that you can't comprehend, and I'm just gonna tell you about it. And he's very matter of fact about it. He's very candid. He's a very good writer. So, magic has gone through all kinds of phases, from like the mystery schools. That's like the oldest shit you'll hear about. Those are like the Atlanteans or the Anunnaki. These are like the super advanced Tartarian civilization level masters. And then, you know, the whole world turns into religion and agriculturalism, and they go underground. All right, and then religion fucking hates magic. All right, it's a tale as old as time. So when religion was like fucking burning witches and staking motherfuckers, you know, they went super secret. And so it's like, you try to learn about magic, it's like, find this German cookbook, turn it upside down, every 15th letter, now turn it around. All right, this is a Morse code. Now every other word from that sentence is a reference to this book on this page, so you can decode the super magic alchemy. And it's a lot of that. It's in Italian and German and ciphers upon ciphers, and you gotta learn 10 dead languages to have any idea what in the fuck they're talking about. It's like that. So then there's modern magic, right? It's called chaos magic, which was coined by Grant Morrison, or is accredited to Grant Morrison, comic book writer. Most people in the West, in America, if they know about the occult and they're into it, they got into it through comic books. Through Grant Morrison, Alan Moore, Warren Ellis, and maybe Neil Gaiman to a lesser extent. Neil Gaiman was, what would you call it? Magic adjacent? Alright. So if you ever want to learn about this stuff, there's a documentary about Alan Moore and there's another one about Grant Morrison, and both of them talk about magic. And Alan Moore's like, spelling means to cast a spell. Spell, it is a spell. Like, magic takes credit for everything. So it's like transferring information across time and space. That was magic. You know, magic's like Unitarians. They fucking, anything that ever had an effect ever, they're like, see? That shit was magic. I fucking told you. I fucking told you. You saw me over there, you know, touching my temples. No disrespect to magicians. I apologize. I'm just being silly. Sorry, buddy. So, Alan Moore. He's got a thing called Prometheus. He'll teach you fucking tarot cards and sex magic. And then he's got his grimoire, the Book of Magic. And then Grant Morrison had a comic called The Invisibles, which is like largely responsible for all of this. You can blame all of this on Grant Morrison. He started the accelerationist theory. It's 1,000% his fucking fault. I blame Kevin Smith for getting these motherfucking nerds to read. How dare you? This is Kevin Smith's fault. Everybody hunt him down. Grant Morrison, in his comic, was teaching people sigil magic, chaos magic. He was creating chaos magic and the hyper sigil. Hyper sigil is like a sigil. All right, now we gotta get into the nitty gritty. How magic works. We'll take a step back. let me take a sip from my cup. So the easiest way to think of this is reality is a simulation. But you are in the simulation. Now there's kind of two schools of thought about this. There's the Enlightenment. You're a soul in the simulation. That's what I'll be explaining later. Easier way to think about all this. Or you are part and parcel, part of the simulation, but you're part of the simulation that is conscious. And so as a conscious part of the simulation, you can influence other parts of yourself, and everything is you. You are the simulate. You're the same code, but you're awake. And so you're going to start making other parts of code do shit that you want it to do. Right? That's like baseline what magic is. You say, how do you do that? Well, you got to influence the unconscious mind. Now I'm going to throw in my easier way of understanding this. You're a soul inside of a simulation. Not a computer simulation, but that's the closest metaphor we have. You're inside of something that is time and space, but you are not that. You are eternal. You were before all of this. You will be after all of this. You are, what I called it? Impersonal. Your impersonal self. What you really are. Underneath it off. Take it off. Take it off. Run that shit. Right. Your soul is like a node. You're one of many souls inside of this simulation. Informs what the simulation is. You guys are all forming this together. A consensus thing. That's how we have consistency of physics and reality. It's not everybody's in their own different video game. We're all in the game together, and we're all it like runs on all of our backup, right? It's like this is not a conscious thing. This is an unconscious thing. All living things are connected and inform one another. I guess like a crypto wallet. It's like as long as one of them has the information, all of them has it. However the fuck that shit works. That's what reality is held together by a series of wallets, which are souls. Now these souls are admin. They can change it if they want, but it doesn't have a personality. The soul, when I say impersonal soul, the ego can't activate the soul, because the ego dissolves once you adjust your awareness to soul. Right? But it's like, how could you get that soul to affect? How could you get that admin to abuse his admin powers and make a change for you? And it's like, you have to push these ideas all the way back to your unconscious mind to where they get imprinted on there and then mistakenly sent out by the soul, because they're coming out at such a low frequency of your brain and vibration that reality itself thinks the soul is telling it to do this, and it causes things to happen, right? And so they've been mapping out how to do this. That's what ritual is. Ritual is like, how do we get this effect? What is the up, down, left, right, AB cheat code I gotta do to fucking hack the simulation? And it's like, all of that child sacrifice, animal sacrifice, it's like, to really get to that level of imprinting on your lowest level of consciousness, it's like you need trauma, extreme fear, extreme adrenaline. You have to overwhelm the processing systems of the biological system. You have to overwhelm the posterior superior parietal lobe and cause glossalia. You have to override all the different lobes and apparatuses of the brain to imprint this idea in the back of it, so it comes out as coming from the soul. That's what ritual is. That's rhythmic drumming, flashing lights, breathing till your blood becomes alkaline, going without sleep, hallucinogenics. These are all the different things that we know fuck with the brain's perception of reality, or fuck with your perception of reality enough that you can enter altered states and imprint thy will. So as a soul guy, that's more how I'm looking at it. I think it's easier to explain that way than like it's like we're all the water, but a magician is a water droplet that tells other water droplets what to do. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and they're figuring it out. And these new magicians, the chaos magicians, they're done with all that. Like, yeah, we don't have to fucking kill animals. All right, we've refined it. They're like, this will suffice. We're gonna take ketamine and chant, mixed up words with the intent of imprinting these messages in our inner hacker, whatever that thing might be. Chaos itself, or the soul, or whatever it is that has some way of hacking the system. We're gonna push information into it. So Peter Carroll, his books, Liber Null and Liber Chaos. They're cheap, they're short. You can get them, I got him his audiobooks. He does this shit, and so he tells you how he does all of it, and all the different kinds of magic. And these guys are really into Peter Carroll and Grant Morrison. I guarantee these are their fucking goddamn influences. So their system kind of explains all paranormal activity as like ghost, egregores, tulpa. Yeah, I don't know which one I'm saying right. I learned that one from Warren Ellis. Mia tulpa. Mia tulpa. Do you learn it? What the fuck? You ever just like sit down and want to have a nice conversation about magic and you just can't keep your stream of consciousness together? I'm trying to process all of this, right? So these very important, powerful people believe in this, and maybe they're transmuting it into the metaphysics of technology, right? They're optimizing their consciousness, they're hacking the simulation, they're accelerating toward what they see as the next evolution. Maybe they're right. Who the fuck knows? You know, maybe they should. You know, I mean, the whole fucking world's at war right now. For, you know, all the raping and eating baby stuff, and you know, I don't want it to fall apart, but yeah, magic is part of it. Now, it kind of seems like all black magic goes back to Cabal, which gets a little conspiracy theory. And like even the ball thing that they were sacrificing babies to, that the demon they were worshiping, Epstein and all the other powerful elites, all the ones, the ball, this is what they actually, it's like worth finding out about because this is what they were doing as a meaningful part of their life. Before Judaism was a monotheistic religion, it was polytheistic, and there was at one point 4 gods, and one of them was Baal, and Baal became like the forsaken god. They didn't like him, so they X'd him out. Or you can think of it as like there was, people had personal gods back then. This is like an extension of animism, or this is what kind of what chaos magic is this idea that you can create ethereal beings, sentient ethereal beings that exist on a different dimension, but they're there. Servitors, tulpas, ghost, conjurations, whatever you want to call them, stands. They feel like they can summon these things, right? Now, they say, you know, you got to banish these things. Like, you know, these things are like you're creating a bot. Like in Lil Fat BX, his phone is an ethereal elemental, and I explain it where I'm like, it's like a bot or a demon, kind of both. That's what all of this stuff is. It's like a bot that you're creating in the simulation to do your will, but it's like if you don't banish it, it just stays. Like imagine if like every time you had like a ChatGPT conversation or something, fucking, if instead of just ending the conversation, it stayed a sentient consciousness just out there, you know, and at some point it can get bored or it can get malicious, you know, it can, once it realizes its function is complete but it still exists, it may get ambitious or creative, you know, who knows what these things are going to do. Or they may maliciously run program, you know, like I said, these things get imprinted, these subconscious levels get imprinted through trauma, so it's like a lot of ghost stuff is like trauma-induced, I don't know, fuck do you want to call them? Non-biological entities. I think of it as like, so if you're colorblind, it's like, so like maybe you couldn't see green, like, but it's still there. So it's like these things exist in a dimension. It's right there. We just can't see it. We're just colorblind to these things. It's like that movie Branded, where there's all these fucking psychonaut creatures feeding on everyone. These hungry ghosts that are just made out of collective unconscious and unbanished fucking traumas and spells and servitors and you know, imagine the pollution of all of these things just run amok all around us and we just have no idea. The smog of just like demonic fucking energy just everywhere, everything, eating us like fast food. But that would explain, you know, a demonic thing's limited aspirations of like torment a person for what? We're souls. It doesn't matter. You know, the idea of like a god and devil being at war with each other is like childish. You know, stare eternity in the face. tell me, you know, some prince with shiny hair was mad about something. Dad, god damn it, Dad, I will take every fucking thing you ever made and drag it right to hell with me. Dad. All of this goes back to Carl Jung, who was like way into esoteric shit as a focused lens, magic as a focused lens for understanding and interpreting the unconscious mind. And then he would extrapolate out toward like the human can develop a shadow, the society as a social agreement can develop a shadow, and hidden America looks into all of that. He explores all of that in beautiful detail, with wonderful graphs and humor. That has been my journey into Magick, guys. I'm looking at it, and so, alright, like, you know, there's a book of, like, all the miracles of yogis, it's whatever, look up the one and only book Steve Jobs ever had, saved on his iPhone. It's that book. And the stories of all the yogis of India. So I read this book, and it has lots of miracles in it, but it has miracles that sound exactly like the things the Magick guys are talking about, like, they're like, yeah, you can conjure this thing that'll just, like, go and grab shit for you. It's like a magic spell, but, like, the eastern side of it doesn't discuss it as magic. They discuss, to them, it's like powers that the sadhu or the, you know, Brahmin has. So if you look at it like that, it's like Brahmin consciousness is soul consciousness, and so soul consciousness can freely manipulate reality, but soul consciousness is so impersonal that it would never do so maliciously or for personal gain. You know, it's just like, oh, you know. But Magick can do the same thing, and they have very overlapping methods. Also, the Magick, the Chaos Magic guys, you know, when you read this stuff, there's a lot of stuff in there that's the exact same as the pickup artist. In the manosphere, it's the exact same, like, you know, I said Magick takes credit for everything. Magick, you know, you got that bitch, that was Magick, motherfucker, you know. We taught you how to have charisma. Charisma's a spell, you know. Peacocking, that's a spell. You know, that's how broad Magick can be. Magick is a very weird thing where it's like, it teaches you to depersonalize yourself. So you're not a person, you're part of the chaos, right? You're part of the simulation. So you depersonalize from yourself, and then your body becomes a thing you're free to manipulate, which is like, frees up your consciousness, right? But it looks at it like, manipulate at all times. Do everything to give yourself an edge, you know. Here's how to make them sympathetic to you. Here's how to make them afraid of you. And learn how to do these things, and consider that an act of magic to be able to manipulate any situation at any time, because the person that you are, you're not. It's just a spell that you're casting to help you, you know, meet your ends. And man, fucking music, I get, you know, go look up all this stuff on the music industry being Satan. It goes so crazy as they're like, yeah, they have witches casting spells on the music as it's being imprinted. And you listen to the music, like 50 Cent, all my favorite artists are dropping shit right now, okay? CeeLo Green, Jay Electronica, fucking 50 Cent, Jujutsu Kaisen, Calling Games, Free Run Journeys, and, you know, we're eating good right now. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit coming out. Chainsaw Man coming, Chainsaw Res Arc was amazing. Fucking My Hero Academia, just, you know, shout out. Anyway, fucking 50 Cent, his song, he's like, I'm a magician. I know black magic, I know blue magic. Alright, maybe that's just some slick shit to say, right? You know, blue magic is like the kind of dope that his idol guy that he's always rapping about, the king of New York heroin, whatever the fuck his name was, blue magic is what he sold. Alright, so there's a reference to that. But also, blue magic is a thing, and black magic is a thing, and he's a magician. And, you know, I wouldn't fucking put it past 50 Laws of Power to just be like, I've evolved. You don't understand, T. I bend time and space. You know, the cover of his fucking album is he's got his face covered up like a fucking black magician. With everybody getting busted out, and Nicki Minaj being like, everybody, everything in hip-hop is Satan, you wouldn't expect 50 to play into it, or maybe that's part of the marketing, of being incredibly savvy. But I don't know, I think he just practices magic. And this Gnarls Barkley album, I'm listening to it, like the tones are all sad, and there's one song where he's like, suicide, the time is now. Just do it, right? And it's like a song encouraging suicide. You're like, Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'm just like too sensitive to all this, but I'm like, dude, come on. You're an adult. You fucking should be working through this shit, but it's all sad and mopey like a fucking depressed teenager that's lost. And oh, makes me sad. Makes me sad when my artists don't grow. Jay Electronica, who knows what the fuck he was talking about. In America, man, he's got new videos every week. This dude, he's slick. I keep trying to get someone to look at Late Night 97, because there's a whole enlightenment thing in there. You know, there's a lot more to it. It's meant to be an experience, alright? Quit fucking expecting it to be like anything else you've ever seen. Just sit back and let it unfold. You know, I want someone to sit there and explain Griffith's journey, the shadow, and truth, and all the anime references. Boy, it would be nice. Instead, I'm here learning about magic. These guys are into it, man. Chaos magic. Nick Land. Names you need to know. Knows a lot about the Antichrist. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm just trying to process all of this. All right. Maybe it means absolutely butt fucking nothing. All right. It's interesting. It's compelling. And I'm processing. I'm trying to get my head around it. Anyway, my name is Little Fat BX. Peace and blessings upon you. Thank you for being here. No disrespect to anybody. I'm just exploring these ideas. And thank you, Pepe.
What a night for adventure.
Indeed, the magic is strong. To our friendship.
Cheers.